All right, let's see how long my voice lasts today. Let's go for another question. Reaching in the jar, pulling one out, and we get. It's always upside down. It's kind of like when you put the USB connectors in. It takes 3 tries. Anyway, it's always upside down. Are there any fees for using or buying Bitcoin? The answer is yes, but they're nominal, and they are basically transaction fees. It's a nominal fee that you put into there. I remember now. The example I remember is for Litecoin, which is it's Charlie Lee's version of Bitcoin. It was made a couple years later. It's very stable, one of the longest projects out there. Someone moved, I think, $99 million for under $1. Now that's a crazy amount to move in one transaction, but it can be done. But yes, you can move. You can transact in Bitcoin, buy and sell and send and receive in Bitcoin for very, very low fees. It depends on the time of the network and how busy it is, or how fast you want it, but you can increase those fees too to get it pushed through faster, or you can use a side chain like a Lightning Network and do it for next to nothing, but typically it's going to be less than $1 and even less. It's a fraction of a percent to get it done. So, but what are the purpose of the fees? The fees are like it helps you rank the transactions for the miners as to what the priorities are, because whoever gets to write the new block and wins that math problem, that contest. That's how I said the Bitcoin network works. Whoever gets to write the next block is going to choose the most expensive transactions to put in the next block, so they get the most bang for their buck. They get the most rewards for writing that block. So, and eventually, when those block rewards get smaller and smaller and smaller over time, remember I said that we started at 50 bitcoins per block, and now we're down to 3 1/8. Eventually, it's going to be less than 1 bitcoin per block. So at some point, the fees are going to be more significant of a reward than the block reward itself. So that's why the fees exist, because eventually, in about 100 years or so, there's not going to be any more block rewards, but there's still going to be fees. And those fees will be what keeps the miners going and rewards them, and that'll be their business. It's like they are chasing fees rather than just block rewards and maybe a little bit of fees. So is there a fee? Yes, it's nominal, and also it's paid by the sender, not the receiver. So if you're getting paid in Bitcoin, you're not going to pay a fee to receive Bitcoin. You're going to pay to send it. But again, it's small. It's very small. The biggest fee that's associated with Bitcoin is purchasing it, because those that control moving from the dollar hegemony, from the dollar world to the crypto Bitcoin world, that fee takes a process, and you can minimize it by using over-the-counters or Cash App. It's typically under 4%. You can do much better with Cash App, but for larger transactions, again, you want to use an over-the-counter, which might be 3 or 3.5%. You can get that less, but you remember that price isn't going to move when making those big transactions. That's what you're paying for when you use an over-the-counter. So, great question. We'll leave it there, and we'll go on to the next question.